You ever see a big real-world problem and wonder if there's a simple, tech-savvy solution just waiting to be discovered? Well, today we're diving into a fascinating project that does just that. It's an idea born from this massive, continent-wide innovation challenge. Okay, let's get into it. So where does this all begin? It starts with a number, a big one, $1 million. Now, that's the total prize pool for an incredible event designed to kickstart a whole new generation of problem-solving across Africa. The event is called the Hedera Africa Hackathon 2025. And it's not just any hackathon. It's this huge, continent-wide program with a really grand ambition to get Africa's amazing and fast-growing tech talent mobilized. And the sheer scale here is what's so impressive. The whole goal is to get over 10,000 participants, spread across more than 20 cities, to build what are known as dApps, or decentralized applications, that have a real, tangible impact. It's all about taking this new Web3 tech and aiming it right at everyday problems.
You know, the whole thing is set up to really nurture these ideas. It starts with a 2-month prep phase, then you get 2 months of intense coding and mentorship, and it all wraps up with the big awards ceremony in early November. It's a sprint, for sure, but a really well-supported one.
So, with a huge hackathon like this, how do you actually focus all that creative energy to solve real problems? Well, you do it through these targeted challenges, or tracks, where all this cutting-edge tech can meet real-world needs head-on.
The hackathon's broken down into 4 main tracks. And while things like AI and immersive experiences are super cool, we're going to zero in on that first one, on-chain finance and real-world assets. This is where the action is for using new tech to make finance more open and, frankly, more fair for everyone.
A really key concept here is something called asset tokenization. All that means, really, is you take the ownership of a real thing, like a bus or even a building, and you turn it into a digital token on a blockchain. This makes it so a bunch of people can easily invest small amounts of money into one big, tangible thing.
And that brings us to this standout project idea that was submitted for this very track. It's a concept called BusFi, and it is the perfect example of applying this new tech to a concrete, everyday problem.
I mean, the project's mission statement just says it all, doesn't it? This isn't about some abstract financial product. It's about using a decentralized platform to fund actual buses, creating networks and communities that are in desperate need of better transportation. This is exactly what the hackathon is all about.
What's so clever about this is how it frames the problem and solution. On one side, you've got this gap in public transport. On the other, you have a lack of ways for everyday folks to invest their money. BusFi is designed to tackle both problems at the exact same time.
And hey, this isn't just some vague idea scribbled on a napkin. The proposal is really fleshed out. They've even thought through the brand identity. It just shows you there's a much deeper level of planning going on here, a really modern take on community finance.
Okay, so the idea is powerful, no doubt. But how would it actually work, like in the real world? Let's break down the mechanics of the BusFi system.
The whole process is designed to be super transparent and simple. A local entrepreneur, they call them a bus financer, pitches their project with all the details, videos, plans, everything. Then, people from literally anywhere can invest. And as proof, they get an NFT. The bus gets on the road, starts making money, and that revenue is then used to pay back the loan and send dividends to all those people holding the NFTs.
Now, under the hood, there are some really innovative features making this all happen. We already talked about the tokenization part, but it also has community governance through a DAO. That's a decentralized autonomous organization. It's basically where the investors get to vote on big decisions. It also has that media-rich pitching process and even a secondary market for the NFTs. But there's one feature that is truly the secret sauce.
And that's this on-chain reputation system. Think about it. In traditional finance, you need a credit history to get a loan. But what if you're an entrepreneur in a community where that's just not available? BusFi totally sidesteps that. It creates a whole new kind of trust, one built on a completely transparent public record of how well you're making your repayments, all stored on the blockchain.
And here's why that's so powerful. It creates this amazing incentive. If you run your bus well and you pay back on time, your public reputation score goes up. What does that mean? It means it's going to be way easier to get funding for your next bus and the one after that. It's brilliant.
All right, let's zoom back out for a second. A project like BusFi, it's not just some clever idea for a hackathon. It really points to something much, much bigger, a new potential path forward for community development in Africa.
As one of the project's own statements says, it really does capture the whole spirit of the hackathon. It's all about building a solution that means something, one that directly connects this global tech innovation with real on-the-ground change.
And the vision doesn't just stop there. The project's roadmap has some really cool ideas, like NFTs that visually change as the bus hits certain milestones, a public leaderboard to see the top-performing financiers, and crucially, multi-language support to make it accessible to as many people as possible.
And that's really the big takeaway here. This is about so much more than just tech or even funding buses. It's about using that tech as a tool to build sustainable local economies from the ground up, empowering communities to solve their own problems.
So it leaves us with this really powerful question. Yeah, it's just one project in a giant hackathon, but it really makes you think, doesn't it? Could a single, well-designed ideal like this actually redefine what finance and opportunity look like for an entire community? Pretty amazing to think about.